Hello, little update on the Noble today. I've been having some problems with sticking brakes. Very strange thing. I've done loads of miles in this, but recently I went up to Worcester, so I did about 170 miles. And I noticed that when you were rolling up to a stop, the car was kind of abruptly stopping, shall I say, at very low speed. So it would just rock forward and then stop rather than just slowly roll forward. After we got up to about 100 miles on the journey, I noticed it started vibrating through the steering wheel, pulled over, and the brakes were sticking. Give it 5 minutes, let it cool down, a couple of pumps on the pedal, and it was fine. I got back and I stripped the front calipers off, and I cleaned everything, and I checked the pads. One of the pads seemed quite stiff in the calipers, so I took that out, removed it, cleaned everything up, put it back together. And I thought that had fixed it. Took it for a drive yesterday. I got maybe 4 or 5 miles up the road and the same thing happened again. So today my plan is to take the calipers off again and just double check the work that I did and make sure that I didn't miss anything. Failing that, the only thing I think it could be would be the master cylinder, but it's definitely on the front brakes. It's not pulling one side or the other, although you can see there's a lot of brake dust on the passengers, the near side wheel. So I think that it's that caliper that's maybe causing the problem. But I'm going to inspect it and see what we can find. So, got my tools. Just loosened the wheel bolts there. Got the car up in the air. I'll lift up the bonnet just to give myself a bit more room. And then we'll whip that wheel off. In fact, I might whip the wheel off first so I can get it through the small gap I've got here. Let's get cracking and get that done. So, what we have is the disc, which it seems okay, but I don't know, I'm not sure if that's... Yesterday you wouldn't have been able to have turned that when I came back from the drive. And at the back, there's your pads. Get my finger right there and there, and then this is a spring that basically keeps them pushed in and stops them wobbling around, and then you've got 2 pins, so I've got to take that off, which will be really straightforward. These just knock through, that comes out, and then I should be able to slide the pads off, and then there is literally a bolt there and a bolt down the bottom there, and this caliper will come off. So the pads fell out quite neatly then, and you can see the copper slip I put on them from the other day. So let's put them out of the way. The disc can just come off. The condition of the disc isn't too bad. It's got a very slight ridge on it, but so that's fine. So that could go out of the way. So now we can look at the caliper. These are the stainless steel plates which allow the discs to the pads to slide in and out. Now I did remove these and clean them, but they're actually looking pretty dirty again. And if you can see here, that's lifted up slightly, which can squash the pads and stop them from being able to return properly. Okay, so the little plates have now come off. There they are, and you can see where I'd previously cleaned it. It looks a lot worse in the video than it is, but I've been using this and some sandpaper just to kind of clean it up and down, and it is very, very smooth now. I think you can see where all the pitting was, where this is where corrosion had built up, and you can see where I've been knocking it off, but I still don't think that is the main problem. But anyway, they're even cleaner than they were before. Before I'd run over them with a wire brush. Now I've gone over with a screwdriver as well, scraping it, and also I've used some sandpaper on it as well, and the wire brush to clean it right up, get rid of any of the corrosion. We'll see how that works. The ones at this side, I've done the same thing, but you can see that they're pretty much corrosion free anyway. So these are now all cleaned. a little bit of grease on that one, but I've given them a damn good clean. I'm happy with how clean they are. So you can see they pop in there like that, and then the screw holds it in. So that's all 4 in. What should happen now is when I go to drop a pad in, bearing in mind I'll sit that way round, they should just slide in there. Calipers back on, pads are not in, so obviously that will, the noise you can hear there is the disc actually touching the caliper because it's not flat. There we go. So pads have got to go in now. So it seems okay, but the real problem happens when it gets warm. So I think the next thing to do is I'm going to do the other side anyway. I think I'll go out for a spirited drive and then see what it's like after that, and if we've got any problems, and then we'll know. And just to give one final top tip, once you've dropped the car down, don't forget to tighten up the wheel nuts. I'd just taken that bar over to that side to do the other one, and I realised that, yeah, I haven't tightened those up yet. That could have been dodgy. Just to give a comparison on the resistance, I've just jacked the car up. This wheel has got a lot more resistance on it. So we'll check that one out now, see what we find. So just taking all the caps back off of this one, and just let me show you this, which I definitely missed before. Now I thought that was clean, but if you look, that's actually a big build-up of corrosion, which has got to be a couple of mil, and that's going to make a huge difference. So that could be the reason this one's not been so great. Yep, completely my fault that, but we'll clean it all up, get all rid of that, and then see how she goes. Alright then, so calipers now all back on, pads are back in, cleaned right up, got it right back. There was corrosion in there, just pushing that little stainless steel clip out a little bit, which could be causing the calipers to stick. I've gone in, I've pumped the pedal back up, pushed it loads, make it really hard, and rolling resistance is a lot less now. So we'll see. So as you saw, that didn't work. They are still binding. I made a call to Jetstream, had a chat through it with them. I think the best option is to wait for the new calipers, which are way being refurbed, and get them fitted to the front, and fingers crossed that will work. Failing that, the only thing it could then be is the master cylinder. Jetstream don't seem to think that's the case. In their experience, they don't tend to go, and if they do, it's not in that way. So we will find out and we will see next time. So as soon as I got those calipers, I will do another video and let you guys know. Thanks for watching.